Well. Hello everyone to another Wargame video. And today I will teach you how to make a USSR Airborne deck. Yeah. So first thing you gotta do, enter the decks, create, call it USSR Air, red 4, USSR, type Airborne. And now you see that we get a lot of experience for infantry, helo and plane tap. They cost -1 activation points, and we have 4 slots more available for each of these categories. Let's create. Yeah. So first the CV zone. We want the survivable CV. This is one my survivable CV. It's got an autocannon. It's pretty cool. We want a fast cheapest CV. This is my fast cheapest CV. You know, kind of like a backup CV. And we need an infantry CV for being a stealthy CV, because you sometimes, need a stealthy CV. So this will be our stealthy CV, essentially. In a K2090B, because it has 10 HP, not 8 like MTV, it can save you sometimes. And you won't be bringing a lot of them, so the 5-point difference doesn't really matter. Then we'll need a fob, because of course we'll need a fob. We have a lot of helos to resupply. And then we'll need a supply track, because that's the only supply track we get, sadly. Supply helos are shit, never buy supply helos, remember guys. Okay. So, first card will be Saperi in BTRD, just for some cheap anti-infantry. I find them really useful and nice. This deck kinda struggles in towns, and they completely solve that problem for me. They are a very nice, useful card to have, and flamers are always useful if you can fit them in, and in this deck you can fit them in. Then we need the bread and butter of this deck. We need 2 cards of VDV-90 in Scratchets on Elite. These guys are for the heavy AT, shock training, alright MG, and for the Scratchet, which is an amazing vehicle. And for 40 points you get a combo that can essentially kill everything that is in like 800-900 meters range, and is extremely strong in forest. So 2 cards of these guys. For the third card of VDV-90, I like to take them in BMD3. VDV-90 you already know why. And BMD3, for 25 points you get shit armor, but you get medium optics, it's really fast, and it's got a Concourse M. And it's got a better autocannon than, for example, a BMD2. It's got improved version. So you get a really good unit with ATGM. It's basically an ATGM carrier to support your infantry at the same time with the autocannon, which is really good. And you need something to get rid of those pesky tanks and enemy vehicles, and BMD3 has been doing wonders for me. Just remember to try to stay back with it, don't really advance with it, because it's really fragile for the price. And then we will need some anti-infantry combo, and for that I will take VDV and BMD2. It's a really nice card, because you get a BMD2, which isn't the best vehicle, but it's alright. It's really fast, which is pretty nice. It's got a concourse, so you can kill tanks with it too, or lighter vehicles. And we get base VDV, which aren't the best, but they are only 20 points. It's next to Sapere, they are your cheapest infantry. And then we'll need some special cards. For our first special card will be the Gornos 90 in MI8 MTV. Be sure to take the MTV, not the MI8 TV or MI8 T, because they are much worse. We obviously upvet them, and we get only regular training, but for 60 points you get something that in a town it's really hard to detach from the town, because it's got a lot of HP, it's got a lot of hitting power. 2 shots of this and you kill every tank up to 100 points. So it's really good. And also get an MTV. Very good for early drops, so important in Airborne to secure that early placements, Factorial is credit. This is basically your flank holder. You can send 1 or 2 units of that on a flank, and you have basically a flank covered because they will stop helos because there are credits, and they will stop vehicles because there are factorials inside. It's really cheap, and you will get overrun after pretty quick time, but it's a really strong combination. You take them on a veteran, of course. Concourse M in BTRD. For an ATGM that hits harder, it has a lot of range, which is really useful because sometimes an enemy will drive their AA and you have a concourse hidden, and you can just turn it on and fire at the enemy that is really far away and doesn't expect you to, hit him with the concourse. So really good unit on a veteran too, because I don't like them to miss, and they have only 50% accuracy. And last card, Igla N in BTRD. This is just a card to, get some manpads, because manpads are always good. I'm thinking about running in veteran, but right now I'm running it at hardened, because you don't get much of other AA than Scratchets, Strela, and your planes, obviously. In support tab, not much to take. Grad is kinda dog shit, so all you can really take are Nona SVKs for that low dispersion, and you can really snipe AA with them. You can do some good fire support for your units, and it's got wheels, so you can relocate it around the map pretty fast. And obviously you can smoke with it, so it's a very important unit. And the Strela, just for best AA unit you got. It's shit, but what can you do? Also you get this wheeled Strela, but you don't get a lot of wheeled units, so I wasn't really using it. I prefer this one. Maybe I will change my mind one day. Okay, here you get a really cool unit. You get the BMP 6A5. Range is shit, but accuracy is really good. You got a stabilizer, not the best, but you got one. 10 RPM is good, free HE is good, AP power is pretty alright for 30 points. Armor is pretty alright for 30 points. It's fast as fuck, it's got medium optics. Really nice unit to have. Not like some meta good unit, but you are airborne. You don't get armored units. Your most armored unit in every other airborne deck will be, maybe not every other, but usually will have like 2 armor, and this has 5, so it's pretty good. Like heavy tank for airborne. For Recon tab, it's fairly simple. Spetsnaz because Spetsnaz are good. Spetsnaz in the hind, because that's really nice to drop them behind the lines, walk them, do some cancerous stuff with them. Razvedka in MTV, just for that cheap MTV with extra recon inside that you can drop somewhere behind enemy lines and be annoying with it. Next, BRDM3 for some wheeled opener. Really nice unit, a unit that I think relax a lot, and it allows you to be much more flexible with how you play the deck. You can send it around, you can have it watch over some spot. Very cool unit. Only to armor though, which is sad, but what can you do? And obviously K52. I like to take them down vetted, so I don't think they get much from an up vet, but anti-seed missiles, you won't use them a lot, but when you do, they're useful. E-glass, exceptional optics more is importantly. Just hover it around, spot shit. It's really powerful unit. And here, well, what can you take, honestly? You can take the Jalo, which is not very good, but it's funny. 20 RPM, shit AP, shit stabilizer, shit range, but it's got medium optics, 70 kilometers per hour, it's wheeled. It's a fun unit, You're playing airborne, don't expect to get a lot of good stuff. BTR 152E, also a cool unit. And now that I thought about it, this is for like base defense. Now that I thought about it, let's actually take the Iglan on veteran. And let's get that Strela. Yeah, just for the meme, it's a fun unit. And here, Akula on elite, very cool unit. I don't really like the MI28. You can take it obviously, but I don't really like it. I prefer to take 2 cards of VPs, so I never run out. And then the only other good, not good unit, this unit is pretty shit, but you need some AA healer except the K52, is the MI24V. I just take 2 of them on veteran. And they aren't the best, but shit rockets, worse gun the VP, poor optics, only 4 HE, but they are meh. you deal with what you get, right? And now, most importantly, the air tap. First, the SFs. Don't take the PU. You don't get a lot of from airborne when you play with a PU. Get the Yaks on elite, really fucking good planes. And second thing, get the PDs on elite, incredibly good planes. They are so fucking broken, these two. And I recommend you just run a double PD and one rocket hits and you already won a dogfight because the enemy plane is just stunned or dead if they crit, you know. They're really, really good. Next you need to take, obviously, SU-27M on Elite. It comes on Veteran in normal deck. On Elite it's even more broken. 50 ECM, amazing rockets here. One downside that it has, I think, is sometimes you get unlucky and lose it to some dumb shit like Yotzhawk or something. But other than that, it's really good unit. Then I take two 25Ts because they're on hardened. They will be very useful. They have two front and rear armor, which is ridiculous. If you don't know what that means, it basically means that the damage that they receive is like cut in half. So they don't have 10 HP as long as someone is firing into this front and back armor. They have 25 HP. So these units are just ridiculous. Have 20% ECM too. 16 rockets. You just hover them around, kill stuff. They're really, really good. MiG-27K on elite because I wanted some cheaper alternative to kill tanks. For example, I see a super heavy, I don't want to see 27M or 25T, so I sent this on elite. It's really good. Another thing, here it is. Oh, wait, where is it? Oh, here it is, on the top. Okay, Il-102, powerful bomber, also the armor. It's tricky, I'm trying to get it to work better, but when it bumps something, it kills something. It's really, really good. Now you gotta take the cheap rocket plane, like in every airborne deck. You know, just for sniping shit, sniping KA and stuff like that. And then you just take two SU-24 for the cheap seed, and MiG-25BM for the more expensive seed. And that's what I run currently. This deck is really, really powerful. I will upload some replays soon to back up that statement. And for now, thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. And yeah, see you next time, guys.